A very good morning, fellow Toastmasters and beloved guests. I, Puneet Sharma, acting as Sergeant at Arms of today's meeting, welcome you all into the meeting number 776 of BlueQuest. As we all in our lives has a mission to fulfill, similarly, Toastmaster Club also has a mission. The mission of a Toastmaster Club is we provide a supportive and positive learning environment where every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we move ahead, we have few ground rules to follow. Please make sure you are seated in a peaceful environment and having good internet connectivity. Please be on mute if you are not speaking, and please be on video for better engagement and interaction. If you are moving out of the screen, make sure to turn off your video, and when come back, then turn it on. And as a Toastmasters, we refrain from talking about three controversial topics, which are sex, religion, and politics. So with this note, let's invite our presiding officer of today's meeting, who is today distinguished Toastmaster Saurendra, who is very passionate and enthusiastic Toastmaster and epitome of experience, learning, and wisdom. So let's invite with a big round of applause, distinguished Toastmaster Saurendra.
Thank you very much, everybody. I would like to first welcome our guests here today. One is Shweta, Toastmaster Shweta has most gladly wanted to give a speech to us, so we are all waiting to hear from her. The other is Rishabh. Rishabh, welcome to our club, and I hope you will be able to spend some time.
Sir, Rishabh is our member, recently.
Okay, Rishabh has just joined up. So welcome, Rishabh. And of course, after a long time, we see Ashok here. Ashok was very busy with his son and doing well for himself. And I have our immediate past president, TM Ria, and I just wanted to compliment her for the poster that she sent her, where she was wearing a sari and she looks so different in it. So thank you, everybody. And with that, we're looking forward to a nice time today in our meeting, today on Saturday. And with this, I will hand over the forum to our our TMOD. Today I'm stuck with the DTM, and I don't know why. But to our TMOD of the day, and she's none other our immediate past president, Toastmaster Ria Anand, who is with a new job, a new husband, the first husband, the husband. And on screen, as I said, I saw her in a sari for the first time this time, except the time when she was getting married. No, you were not wearing a sari that time. Anyway, so over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharindra. And yes, it is first husband, not a new husband.
Only husband.
Only husband. Yeah, that is better. I welcome you all to today's meeting, and after a very, very long time, I'm again coming back and have taken up this role as TMOD for the day. I hope I do justice to each and every one of you with respect to the time and commitment that you've come into the meeting. Just before I get into the theme, there is GE and TTM open. So, Puneet, you're doing the TTM. I just saw your tag, and GE still remains open. Any? Okay, so Toastmaster Sharindra would take up G. That's great. So now we'll move on to the theme for the day, which is change. Now, I would like before, how would each of you categorize change as? What change would, when you hear the word change, what is the immediate thought that comes to your mind? We can go round, start with Shweta. What do you think when you hear the word change?
Uncomfortable, like
Uncomfortable.
not
Rishabh, what about
really
you?
liking it immediately, but eventually.
Good, Shweta.
The
I'll circle back to that. Yes, Rishabh.
the ultimate truth of life, like those who don't change, they remain stagnant.
Ultimate truth of life. Wow. Ashok,
Challenging self to accept that things are changing and we have to adapt to that.
interesting. Sharad,
Change is only constant in life.
that is true. That is true. What about you, Puneet?
When I think about the change currently, I'm thinking only of job change. So that is in my current focus. Let's see how it goes. And I'm not afraid of now, because earlier when I used to resign from the company, I was used to feel very attached to it and feeling sad that, okay, what will happen? But now I have accepted that one company will go and another will hire. So that's how it goes.
That is an interesting take. Sharindra, sir.
Uh, for me, change, like Sharad mentioned, is there every moment. But I think the way I have looked at changes, I've said, well, let it be early and life becomes better. So I've always taken it in a very positive way and always found it that way. Because you can't change in the sense that it is going to happen. And every moment of our life is a change. So you might as well accept.
That is very true. So interesting thoughts, change is the only constant. Uh, that is the underlying theme from all of you. Even when Rishabh, you said that, if we don't change, we are stagnated. Uh, Toastmaster Ashok said that, no, change is the change is what will have to be done to move forward. And Shweta, your first word, uncomfortable. I think I resonate with each one of you in terms of change. And Toastmaster Puneet, I understand and I truly am with you because the appraisal seasons have just gone by and the job change is kind of inevitable at this point in time. So I conquer that thought too. Why change as a topic today? I took I would not say a very bold step, but still a big change in my life with two big changes together in February. So one, of course, as Toastmaster Shaurendra mentioned, was to start a new personal life, getting married, starting things as a couple, all of that. But alongside, I also decided to uproot my professional life in a place where I had given my 4.5+ years. I was well settled. I knew the company in and out, to a company which was new to me, to a new environment, to a new team, and to the people with a new culture. So all of that change happened in just a month, alongside shifting houses, setting up the new house. So all of that was what my March essentially looked like. And to conquer with all of your thoughts, change is actually the only constant. It will initially feel uncomfortable because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are challenging yourself to move to a new surroundings. But at the same time, if you become too comfortable in a place, it is always said that that place is not as challenging. You have to step out of it, be it a company, be it anything that you are doing in your professional or personal life. Anything as a challenge needs to be up and running to keep that spark in anything and everything that you do on a regular basis. Similarly, in our Toastmasters journey, we keep changing EC members, we keep changing role players every week. Why do we do that? So that every people come in, every person has the flavor of every role player, every role that Toastmasters has to offer. Every year, the district changes its own the ADs, DDs, etc. All of those, from that hierarchy, everything changes, right? That is because change is what is the only thing that has to continue, that will bring longevity to anything that we do. With that, today's Toastmasters today's Toastmasters meeting will be categorized into three sections. The first section will be prepared speeches, wherein today very lucky to have two speakers who will be Toastmaster Ashok and Toastmaster Shweta. In the second section is table topics, which will be headed by Toastmaster Puneet. And the third section will be general evaluation, which will be headed by today will be headed by Toastmaster Shaurendra. So that's the broad layout of the meeting. We'll talk more about the theme, but first let's go into the introduction and hand over the stage to our general evaluator for his and his team's introduction. Over to you, Toastmaster Shaurendra.
Thank you. And I'm doing the G's role, and it is my responsibility to be like a parliamentarian who is overall responsible for running the conduct of or conducting the meeting and giving a viewpoint on some of the activities and some of the speakers or some of the role players on how they can improve their activities as far as Toastmasters is concerned. I will be supported by a team of evaluators, namely the tag team, which is the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian. Today, we do not have a grammarian, and our president, DTM Puneet, has most graciously agreed to be the timer, and I would request him to let us know what would be his role and how would he be supporting us in this meeting. Over to you, Puneet.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most important resource we have in our lives. And specifically, if we don't use time so effectively, then it may leads us some consequences, and also we cannot have good life as we expected ourselves to be. So in same way, like in Toastmaster meeting also, we have to take care of the time. Otherwise, we will not end our meeting on time, and it can stretch or it can end in less time as well. So as a timer of today's meeting, my responsibility is to take care of the timing aspects. I will record the timings for every role and every speaker and remind you with three colors of cards. So the remind is like that's how you will get to know how much time you have taken and how much time left with you. So I have three color cards with you. I will say background. So at the minimum time, I will change it the green like this. At meantime, yellow, and at maximum time, red like this. For example, if prepared speech is 5 to 7 minutes, so at 5 minutes, I will change it to green, 6 minute yellow, and 7 minutes red. Other than that, you have 30 seconds of grace period on both the side into the prepared speech, and in the table topic section, 30-second grace period on the upper side only. So at the end of the meeting, I will submit my report so that you will get to know how much time you have taken and how well you have utilized your time. Over to you, General Evaluator. Distinguished
Thank you.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Puneet. That was quite an elaborate explanation of your role. The next role is the R counter. And yours truly is today the R counter of this meeting. As the R counter, responsibility to help you in ensuring that you reduce your use of crutch words or filler words. what I really mean here is that since all of us do not dabble or as a mother tongue, we do not have English, whereas we communicate in English in these meetings, we tend to miss out on some of the words which should probably come. And there, what we do is we either pause to think of a word, or since our mother tongue is not English and is some other language, regional language that we speak at home and with our family, we tend to think first in that language. And then it takes a couple of seconds in our mind to translate it into English. And that few seconds, where there is a lag between two words that we speak, we tend to use filler words or support words, which are normally things like, which we commonly know as um, you know, right. So these are words which are very commonly used, but you will also find people using words which are not very common. Like I know of a gentleman who in my office would constantly use the word you know. You know had turned into Ino. He would always say Ino. So these were filler words which the person used to use. And it is our effort to reduce the use of these words. And I, as the accountant, will keep account of each one of us who uses these filler words. And when at the end or when we come at the third session, it will be my responsibility to share those words with you so that you can keep a note of it and in future be conscious of the use of these words. So with that, I go back to my role as a GE and request someone to take on the role of the grammarian, which is as of now vacant. Is there anyone who will be able to do the grammarian's role here? I'll request Rishabh sir, if you are there, or Rita or Manish, any one of you can take on this role, sir? Okay, we'll let this be. This role, we will bypass it today. And I will now hand over the stage once again to our TMOD of the day, and we will come back, me and my teams. Incidentally, I have two other evaluators. One is the speech evaluators who will be coming in. In fact, two speech evaluators for the two speakers. And I'm looking forward to giving my report at the last session. With that, over to you, Ria.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shalindra, for and your team for the introduction of the general evaluator's role. Quickly, I want raise of hands. Everybody has to raise hands. Quickly do it. I'll give you the reason of why. No, no, on Zoom. I want the order in Zoom. Come on, quickly. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Manish, Rita, are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again, please?
Please raise your hand on Zoom. Okay, so I'll give you the order. It goes Shweta, Rishabh, Sharad, Ashok, Shaurendra, Puneet, Manish. Yep, that is the order. Okay, now I'm going to say a statement, and in that very order, everyone has to change one word in the sentence. Okay, Shweta, ready? Okay, only
Yeah.
one word needs to change.
Okay.
Okay, I like to drink tea in the morning. That is the statement. Start.
I like to drink coffee in the morning.
Rishabh.
Um, I like to drink beer in the morning.
Well, that's good. Not good for a weekend, but not a weekday. Sharad, you are on
Yeah, they
mute,
are
Sharad.
mute.
Sorry, my pardon. I like to drink black tea in the morning.
Ashok,
I don't like to drink black tea in the morning.
very good. Sharindra.
I like to brew my tea in the morning.
Sir, you'll have to change one word from what Toastmaster Ashok said. I don't like to drink black tea in the morning, so you have to change that one word.
I brew my tea in the morning.
Okay, Puneet.
I don't like to sip tea in the morning.
That is more than one word change. Only one word has to change.
Okay.
I like to brew my coffee in the morning.
Okay. I like to brew coffee in the morning.
Okay. Manish,
I like to brew my coffee in the morning.
you have to change one word.
Oh, not, oh,
Not
I
add or
think,
delete. Change.
oh, I don't like to brew my coffee in the morning.
Okay. Rita, Rita, are you there?
Yes.
I don't like to brew my coffee in the morning, is the last statement.
I would say that I don't like to brew cold coffee in the morning.
Okay.
It is again an addition of a word, but okay, with what time permits, we'll stop it here. But the challenge here was to change one word, and the statement that started with drinking kind of ended with drinking. I had thought that, it'll make out something new, but again, everybody has their own preferences, and that's how they changed the sentence to their liking of what they usually like to do in the morning. So, great attempt. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. Now we'll move on to the first section, which is the prepared speech section. The prepared speech section, we have two speakers, Toastmaster Shweta and Toastmaster Ashok. I request all of you to please lower down your hands, and so that only the timer has the hand up, and for the speaker it becomes easier to see the screen. Thank you so much. And the first speaker for the day is Toastmaster Shweta. Toastmaster Shweta, are you good to go? Okay. So Toastmaster Shweta's speech would today be evaluated by Toastmaster Shaurendra. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shaurendra to give us the speech objectives of Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Shweta is doing her project on presentation mastery. This is the level 2 project 3 speech, which is titled Blockbuster. All the very best, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaurendra. Toastmaster Shweta, can we have a quick audio video check?
Yeah, I hope I'm audible.
Yep, you are audible and visible.
Thank
You
you.
would prefer that orientation only?
Yeah, my laptop is not working. Yeah.
Okay, so good. Okay. Toastmaster Shweta, Blockbuster. Blockbuster, Toastmaster Shweta.
The delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. These are the words of Steven Spielberg, the legendary director behind the movies like Jurassic Park, E.T., and my personal favorite, The Terminal. Over the years, Spielberg has mentored several directors. One of those directors is named Dean DeBloy, who, if you've already watched the series called How to Train Your Dragon franchise, where there are a couple of movies, he was the director for that movie. And Spielberg was the one who was mentoring Dean DeBloy. So, if I were Dean DeBloy directing my own life story, I believe I had my own Steven Spielberg. Actually, two of them. The first one being my mother. She's a proud homemaker. She has always had like a flair for mathematics and is proficient in shorthand. But after marriage, like many women of her generation, her world slowly became centered around her family. And somehow along the way, I think she began living a few of her dreams vicariously through me. But more importantly, she made sure that I could build a life of my own. She wanted me to be independent, to earn my own money, make my own decisions, and stand confidently on my own feet. Growing up, she gave me endless instructions before I stepped out of the house. Call me when you reach. Don't stay out too late. Be careful when coming back. At that age, it felt excessive. I used to wonder why she worried so much. But today, looking back, I realize it all came from a part of love. In fact, I think I might become an even more anxious mother in the future. Despite all her worrying, despite staying awake until I returned home safely, she never tried to clip my wings. And that made all the difference. The biggest lesson she taught me was to always stay true to myself. And if something genuinely deserves your hard work and attention, go for it wholeheartedly. She always encouraged me to keep an open mind about the choices I made. At the same time, she reminded me never to get emotionally consumed by work because ultimately life is much bigger than a job or a title. That balance between ambition and self worth is something I carry with me even today. My second mentor, or my second Steven Spielberg, if I may say, and perhaps most influential mentor has been Miss Susila Cherla, whom I met during my MBA and GMAT preparation journey in 2022. At that point of time, I had spent only 2 years in the corporate world, and honestly, I was confused. I did not know where my loyalties lied. I did not know where I truly belonged. I also did not know what I was really capable of. And somewhere between that self doubt and uncertainty, I met her. Through our conversations, I realized something very important. Having opportunities in today's world is a privilege, but recognizing your own potential within those opportunities, that is a skill. At the age of 23, I had already gained a fair amount of experience through internships, projects, and work exposure. But I struggled to present myself confidently. I did not know how to communicate my strengths to a recruiter or even to myself. And that is where her mentorship truly transformed me. She helped me understand how to articulate my capabilities. She focused on the things that I naturally did well, like public speaking, like journaling, like writing, and helped me connect them to the larger picture of the life that I wanted to build. What surprised me most was the clarity with which she understood people. The questions she asked were simple, but felt powerful. What kind of work excites you? What kind of life do you want outside work? What matters to you in the long run? These conversations changed the way I looked at success. And later, when I got to know more about her own story, I admired her even more. She got married at the age of 22, fresh out of college, while stepping into a completely new job and new environment. Like we were discussing, change. She had changes all throughout her life. Everything around her was unfamiliar and uncertain. Yet she continued to grow. She went on to take senior leadership positions while balancing family expectations and professional responsibilities. And perhaps the most inspiring part of her journey was that she completed her MBA from ISB, Hyderabad, at the age of 45. 45. At an age where many people settle into routine, she chose to dream again. And through that, she taught me something I'll never forget. It's never late to reinvent yourself. I believe mentoring is powerful because mentors do not always give us the answers. Sometimes they simply help us see ourselves more clearly. A good mentor does not create copies of themselves. They create confidence. They create courage. They create the possibility. And mentees benefit in several ways that go beyond career advice. A mentor can help you avoid years of self doubt. And sometimes all it takes for that one person saying, I think you can do this, for your entire direction to change. Today, when I look at these women in my life, I realize something beautiful. Neither of them tried to decide my future. Neither of them tried to push their decisions on me. Instead, they just gave me the freedom and the confidence to shape it myself. And maybe that's the true essence of mentoring. Not building someone in your image, but trying to discover themselves on their own. Spielberg created blockbuster movies, but the mentors in our lives create something even more meaningful. They help the ordinary people believe in their own stories until one day those stories become blockbusters too. Thank you very much.
Wow, Toastmaster Shweta, praising all your mentors in that 6, 7 minute of speech. I think you nailed it very well. And your speech happens to come at a very good point because tomorrow is Mother's Day. I know I also personally don't believe in one day celebration, but yeah, since it is, then I'll mention it. So thank you so much, Veda, for that interesting speech. And my key takeaway from your speech is life is much bigger than a job or a title. So thank you so much. We'll take a minute for feedback. Timer, please let us know when the minute is over. I request all of you to share your compliments, positives in the chat with everyone. And if there are any suggestions or constructive feedbacks, please do so with this to the speaker in person. Sorry, in their private chats. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Puneet, for that update. We'll now move on to the second speaker, who is Toastmaster Ashok. And evaluator for Toastmaster Ashok is Toastmaster Rupinder. So I'll first hand over the stage to Toastmaster Rupinder to letting us know the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Rupinder.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Madam Toastmaster of the Day, the speaker Ashok is going to deliver a speech from the path effective coaching. I'm assuming that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. As I do not have the details of the project, I will evaluate the speech as a generic project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder. Toastmaster Ashok, are you good to go?
Yes. Is it audible clearly?
Yes, you are both audible and visible clearly.
Thank you.
So, Toastmaster Ashok, not answering is also an answer. Not answering is also an answer, Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you, Ria. 2 weeks back, I got a call from a consultant, job consultant, where he offered a job of global head of L&D for a large organization. I was really excited to get this opportunity because the organization this person was talking about, I know the CPO, the Chief People Officer of the organization, and this role was supposed to report to that person. I have worked with this person for a long 1 year as a direct reporting manager. So I was very excited that large organization, a global role, and the reporting manager is known. And known devil is always better than unknown devil. We all know. So I was really excited. As soon as the consultant hung up the phone, I messaged that person because I had a very good relationship with the person. I messaged him and I tried to keep it bit playful, asking that why you are going to pay the consultant. You could have sent a direct message to me and I would join. And almost immediately, person also responded, saying that I will talk to you soon. I was really excited. A new opportunity is coming my way. And I was waiting for the response. I waited for that day, the next day, the next day, and response never came. Most of you would be able to understand my emotions at that time. When you send out message to someone curiously and you are very excited about something or you want a very prompt response from someone and you send a message and you are just looking at your phone 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, and you don't get a response. You see those two blue ticks in the WhatsApp message, and those two blue ticks smiling back at you sarcastically, and you can see person is online, still person is not responding. That is something, a kind of feeling. We all know what that feeling is. I also had that same feeling, and reason is because we expect someone to respond. We have grown up in a world where we are obsessed with words because we are always taught speak clearly, write precisely, answer promptly. We are always taught. But when we are taught about this entire gamut of things to communicate, no one has taught us that silence is also a kind of response. Not responding is also a response. And we are not taught to read that. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends, I would like to talk about this. I would like to talk about not answering is also an answer. And we should accept it that yes, someone, if not answering, we should not feel anxious. We should start reading that. Because we are always taught that answers will always come in form of sentences. Yes, no, maybe, or a long explanation. But life doesn't work that way. Life works differently. In life, we see that people are avoiding conversations. They are delaying responses. They are changing subjects.
We can't hear you, Ashok.
It tells us where we stand, how much priority we have in other person's life, and sometimes the kind of respect given to us by the other person. So when someone don't reply, maybe he's communicating that this particular thing you are asking doesn't deserve my energy and time. Or at times, that person doesn't deserve that response. So, but I don't want to be that harsh. I can understand that at times person is overwhelmed with the work. He may be willing to avoid a conflict, or he himself is unsure about the answer. He is not sure what to tell. Whatever is the case, once you understand that silence is a message, you start looking world in a very different way. So whenever you get in such kind of scenarios, you should be very conscious. What you should do? You should do three things. First, when someone is not responding, try to read the pattern. Whether person is trying to communicate something to you. Second, choose not, first thing, you should learn that if person is not responding, he's trying to communicate something. Second, if you are in that position, please have respect to respond back to people. Don't hold your answers. And third, this action is for immediate thing. Please try to recall to yourself, is someone waiting for your answer? So, my dear friends, when next time you get a query and you try to hold the response, please speak out. And in the end, I would like to admit that I am also doing these mistakes. Few days back on my LinkedIn account, I posted this. No response is also a response. And you know what comment I got? I got a comment from a vendor. He says, I know. Because I had a conversation with him some time back, and then my priorities changed. He was chasing me. I was ignoring him, not picking up his phone. And he wrote, I know. And that was a point of realization for me. So, my dear friends, please start reading the silence. It may be a pattern, it may be a message, because not answering is also an answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashok. That was really a different perspective altogether. I agree that sometimes we do not get an answer or we do not give an answer depending upon what the question is or how do we want to think about it. But it's an interesting perspective to hear from your thought. And when you say LinkedIn post, the vendor writing on the LinkedIn post, I know it just brings both the worlds together where you see where one end you were not the one responsive, and there's the other end where you are not getting the response yourself. So thank you so much for putting that perspective among us. And I would like all of you to please share your feedback to the speaker. And timer, please let us know when the minute is over. As I said, praise in public and provide constructive criticism or feedback, as you may say, in private.
Time is up.
Time's up. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Puneet, for that heads up. Now, before we move on to our second section, which is table topic section, I want all of your attention to be very intact because what I'm going to do now is I'll give you words, and I think best is all of you keep yourself unmuted. And when I say a word, just reply with the thought that comes to your mind. First word gets recognition. The others, we'll do this very quick. So please unmute. Okay. Whatever word comes to your mind when you hear that particular word. Toastmaster Rupinder, you are on mute. So if you can unmute yourself. Toastmaster Rishabh, please unmute yourself. Okay. So everybody is now unmuted. Good. We'll start. Be quick. Okay. Transform.
Change.
Need of the hour.
Need of the hour.
Growth.
Change. Adapt. Second word is adapt.
Survival.
Need of the hour.
Survival.
Need of
Switch. Switch.
Sorry?
Switch. Third word
Job.
is switch.
Job.
Job.
On.
Okay. Renew.
Membership.
Subscription.
That was the word that came to my mind.
Trust the district officer to do that. Use that word.
Growth.
Salary hike.
Trajectory,
Okay.
Modify.
Your
problems.
behavior.
Metamorphosis.
Oh God.
Dictionary.
The book.
was good. That was good. With that, I conclude that quick segment. And this is what our next segment will offer you to do. Obviously, you will get 10 seconds there to think, and not all the people jumping in together. But please come up on the stage as our table topic master, Toastmaster Sharad, brings us his interesting topics. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharad, for this segment.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ria. Just one confirmation, am I audible to everyone? Perfect. So, good morning, everyone. And I'm excited to be the table topic master today, where we transform the thoughts into words in the matter of a moment. Today is the theme is change, the one constant that shapes our lives, challenges our comfort zone, and often lead us to the growth that we never imagined. Change can be beautiful, uncomfortable, unexpected, or even life changing. A small decision, a new habit, or a sudden opportunity can completely rewrite our story. So, for the benefit of guests, let me tell you that this is the impromptu section where every one of you can take part, and timing would be 1 to 2 minutes. Where at the end of 1 minute, timer will show the green card, and at the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, timer will show the yellow card, and at the end of 2 minutes, red card is shown. I also would like to invite each one to think and share your unique expressions, imaginations to the topic. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So let's begin the table topic section, and I would like to everyone to nominate yourself by raising your hand, so we can see who gonna first. Or I should, okay, Shweta. So Shweta, can you please unmute yourself? And your topic for the day is how a small change ever made a big difference in your life. How a small change ever made a big difference in your life. Toastmaster Shweta.
Right. I would like to call myself a big procrastinator. I really put off the job that I have to do, whether it be at my workplace or even at home, too much so that both my boss and my mother both scold me simultaneously. So, one small change I have made in my day to day life so that I could overcome is make sure that I schedule some fun time at the end of the day so that I have to complete my checklist throughout the day. Because if I don't complete my checklist or the things that I have to do throughout the day, whether it be at work or at home, I wouldn't eventually go out with my friends or like do that fun thing in the evening. So that is like eventually it was like just like small things, like maybe go out for a walk with my dog, or like just try to hang out with the nearby neighbors in the evening, or maybe catch up with a movie or go to the mall. But I told my mom to not accept my plea for a fun evening or a fun weekend until and unless I did not procrastinate. So that is what I came out with it. So yeah, it is very difficult, to not be lazy and like to be active all the time. It is not something that is unusual to me. It was very uncomfortable in the beginning, but eventually I tried to catch up, and now I wouldn't say that I'm not procrastinating still. I am still procrastinating, but maybe I'm just cutting my losses with every day to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. That was a wonderful take on this topic. And I would appreciate that you came out of your procrastination, which I'm still trying to. And yeah, it's a very good you that you share your personal story, how you came out of it. Wonderful. So coming on to the next, who wish to go next? Or I should raise anyone. Okay, I should raise anyone then. Hmm. Uh, Ria. Okay, Toastmaster Ria. For you, topic is one change you resisted at first but appreciated later. One change you resisted at first but appreciated later. Toastmaster Ria.
Something very personal and then something that's happened very recently is, as I was telling you in the start, is that I shifted a job. I moved from one domain in finance to another domain, which is where in companies which both belong to a medtech industry, but very different in terms of their technology as well as the growth phase. Initially, the company I was in, it is, a matured company. You don't have tasks that come up each and every day. You don't have urgencies to that extent because the growth trajectory is not to that level. The change that I resisted initially was that shift from the comfort from one company to another. Just because you know everything in and around, you know everyone in and around, and you already have a rapport with every person in the company, or at least the people you closely work with. Plus, adding on a cherry on the top is that when people start praising you, they are happy to have you around. It makes all the more difficult to move yourself out of that and put yourself in a totally different position, in a position where nobody knows except for the people who would have interviewed you. So I took that decision. Initially, I had resisted it. I had my own reservations about it. But today, 2 months into the company, I feel that I'm part of something which is much bigger now because the company is in a growth trajectory. The numbers that we look at year over year, or a growth that we look at year over year, is unmatched to the other companies because it's fairly new in terms of its technology, in terms of its presence. So glad to be part of something bigger, something more important, revolutionary in terms of the technology. But yeah, it does take an effort to uproot yourself where you are the king, or rather a queen, to people around you to come and become an entry level person to a new organization. So yes, that's what I had resisted, but embracing it each and every day today. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharad.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ria. I really like your speech, and I am now thinking to switch my company so that I can move out of my comfort zone, and maybe I resist late in first, but later on I would appreciate it. Yeah, that is a wonderful tip. Now move on to next. Who would like to come up next? Yes, Toastmaster Ashok. Toastmaster Ashok, do you think people truly change? Do you think people truly change? Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharad. Yes, I believe this firmly because I have seen this happening over and over again. However, I have two perspectives to it. One perspective is that people change because uh, they change because the way they were dealing with us or the way they were looking at us, because we are in a situation where we can be influential for them for something, so they had a particular kind of behavior. But when that advantage is removed or that positioning is removed, then they have a different kind of behavior. So that is one important thing which I learned from the life, that people will change their behavior over a period of time, and they will take you uh, as per their convenience. Second thing which is bit funny, but what I realized that over a period of time, I realized that initially the people to whom I was thinking very wise, very intelligent, over a period of time, when I start spending time with them, I realized that they are not that intelligent as much they predict. So initially, in some time, I feel okay, person is very intelligent from outside. He looks very smart, very intelligent, ethics oriented. He shows a lot of things. But when you dig deep and spend time, because words can be crafted, behaviors can't. So I don't, when I start observing their behaviors, what they say and what they do are different. So over a period of time, I realized that people are not that good as they look initially. So these are two perspectives which I have seen over a period of time, and I firmly believe in this. And I don't feel bad when something like this happens. Thank you, and over to you, Sharaf.
Thank you so much, Ashok, for your thoughts. And I would like to say that never judge a book by its cover. And you have rightly shared your experience about how the people look from outside and how it behaves from inside. So it's happened in the society. And I would recommend if you can give a conclusion about of your whole speech that what you firmly believe that people can truly change behaviorally or they can't. But nonetheless, we got the gist. Like this is the issue that we all have in our mind that if anyone can change from internally or not, like from behaviorally or not. Thank you so much for your take. Coming up on the next, who would like to go now? Rishabh, would you like to take on?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Rishabh, Toastmaster Rishabh, how do you usually react to an unexpected change? How do you usually react to an unexpected change?
Mm.
Toastmaster Rishabh.
Uh, yeah, so the change itself is it's overwhelming. It's difficult for everyone, and um, so generally, like I try to like be a change, be it a job change or a personal, sorry, or be it a a change in the personal life. So I try to evaluate the situation. Uh, sorry, yeah, like my wife is actually in the room, so it's
No worries.
uh, uh, so yeah, uh, I'm actually short of words, but yeah, like I was saying, like I try to evaluate the situation, of the change. So if it is a job change, like I try to uh, adapt to it. I try to get get used to the situation. Um, sorry, like I am not able to think about it.
No worries. So thank you for your take. And I would say that if you are debutant as a uh, table topic, so you have done a great job. With the time, you will learn how you can put up your thoughts, and by more practicing, give you make you more perfect towards it. So if you see the Rupendra sir background, here is an approach for a table topic as well. So it's happened. So who would like to come up next? Rupendra sir. Toastmaster Rupendra sir, what change you are currently working on in your life? What change are you currently working in your life? Toastmaster Rupendra.
The change that I'm working on is a particularly challenging one. I say that because it's a bit like the situation in Iran. Something was working, then something happened, and now we want to go back to the way it was working. Let me explain what I mean by that. I went to Canada in the April of 2023. At that time, a lot of people said that nobody goes to Canada in their 50s. And I went. I had a reasonable amount of success. But then my parents, they are aging, they are sick, so I had to come back. And now, when I come back, I really wish I had not gone to Canada all these years because they've had some pretty big health issues. And now they require 24 by 7 care. 9 out of 10 times, I'm the person who's giving them that 24 by 7 care. And sometimes I wonder if I had not gone to Canada in the first place, would this situation ever have arisen? So, to answer your question, the one change that I'm really struggling with right now is a change that should not have happened, and yet it happened. And now I am dealing with the consequences. I'm not complaining, but it's just that life could have been a little bit easier had I not decided to jump the gun. But uh, as any person in crisis will tell you, it is what it is. Or as Randy Pausch would say, that you cannot change the cards you've been dealt. You only change the way you play your hand. So that's the hand that I've been dealt, and I'm playing it the best I can. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you so much, sir. That is a wonderful take. I really like the way how you apply your OYO approach in this table topic section, and love your opening line as well as the conclusion. So thank you for showing all us how a table topic can be given. Coming upon to the next participant, who would like to come up? Sharinder, sir. Well, if you woke up in a different country tomorrow, how would you adapt? If you woke up in a different country, how would you adapt? Toastmaster Rupinder, sir. Oh, sorry. Toastmaster Surrender, sir. My bad.
Thank you very much, Sharad, for a topic which has made me wonder many a times when I had to travel abroad at very short times and notice was given very short. Yes, it is always important to know the culture of different countries and be able to change yourself according to the situation and the country's culture. My first shock in life about culture was we as idiots do not allow the other person and we keep interrupting them with our viewpoints while they're speaking. And this was my first learning that when we went to countries in Europe, especially where I had an experience, is wait for the person to stop and then start saying something. The other one is from our culture in our country, everything, even if you agree with the other person, we start by saying no instead of saying, which creates a lot of problem. I had to change that thing. Other big learning that I heard or I had as a human being was when I went to Japan and we were visiting one of our colleagues' house. We in India, when we go to someone's house, we carry red flowers. It is an absolute no in Japan. You should never take red. Yellow is normally, light yellow is the normal color that you have. So when you go to any of these countries, it's important to know some of the cultures which people follow. And fortunately for me, I've had the benefit of going to different countries and understanding their cultures. And I have been able to use a training program, which was very successful at one time. Now I've stopped doing it. But be know what is the culture of a country before you go there. Otherwise, you can be very offensive. Thank you for a lovely topic. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for this take. And I completely echo with you and love to go to Japan as well. It's a to-do list, like you said about the culture. Definitely, it's a culture which we should see first, and based on that, we can adapt to their culture, adapt to their surroundings, how they treat people, how they greet people. Most in the every country, it's completely changes. So yes, thank you for your genuinely take on this topic. Moving on to the next, who are left now? Puneet, would you like to go?
No, I think carry on, please.
Okay, so with this, I think all are done. We can conclude the table topic section, and I thank to all of you for your wonderful speech and table topic you have given. And with this, I would like to hand over the stage back to our TMOD of the day, Toastmaster Ria.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharad. Round of applause for Toastmaster Sharad. Thank you for bringing in such interesting topic aligned with the theme that we had for today. But one interesting comment in the chat that I would actually like to point out is by Toastmaster Ashok. When Toastmaster Rishabh said my wife is around and I'm short of words, he put it that everybody is short of words and wife is around.
So sorry. Actually, I was trying to think, and like she was scrolling reels, so I could concentrate. So, like,
Don't still
We can understand this, Rishabh, and many of us are self have self experienced this. So you are not alone, my friend. Please don't feel like that.
Now I'll have to see if that same applies to my husband or not while he is in a call.
It is for the husband, not for you, please.
That is what I'm saying. No,
The husbands
I'll
get
have to
nervous.
see.
The husbands get nervous. Wives never do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. And sorry for that little banter. But keeping time in mind, we'll quickly move on to the third section, which is general evaluation. And general evaluation today will be headed by Toastmaster Shaurendra. Over to you, Toastmaster Shaurendra, for giving us what we did good and what we did not. We can do it.
Thank you very much. And what an interesting meeting. And we have had our banters, we've had a lovely time together. And let's now look at how did we actually go through this whole meeting. We started our second session with the speeches. And the first speech was made by Shrita, and I was fortunate enough to be her evaluator. And therefore, I'm giving my evaluation of that speech. Sweta, you really got everyone totally hung up on what you were saying on your blockbuster story. Yes, Spielberg, Team Debloy, they always give us blockbusters. And therefore, the dichotomy of our life, which is built on how we look at our lives and what are the things which keep affecting us, was very well put forward. What I loved about the speaker was her fluency, her transition from one aspect to the other. And the flow was so well done in her speech. She had a very expressive face, and she did so well in trying to emote all the feelings that she had around us and how she has been facing up to it and how her mentors have constantly held up with her and being able to push her up. I have just two suggestions to you amongst this brilliant speech that you give. I would request you to expand your frame on the picture because we only saw between your face, part of your neck, your shoulders were blown off, were not there, so we could not see anything. So what I saw was your face, and the expressions were very good. But if you had a bigger screen, then I would have seen your hands, and the audience would be more attracted towards the speech that you had. Another input I would like to give you, which is a little jarring to the ear, and that is your emphasis on the word T. Like when you said that, you said that foot. T becomes a very emphatic word at the end of some of the words that you use, which is very jarring to the ear. Overall, brilliant speech. I loved the flow. I love the examples of the two great directors, Spielberg and Dudley. And I thought you had been able to construct your story very well with your personal experiences. So hats off to you, and I'm wishing you all the best. If you could incorporate just these two small changes into your speech while making the speech on camera. All the best, and thank you very much. I'm taking back the stage and asking my good friend DTM Rupinder Singh to now give his evaluation of Toastmaster Ashok. Over to you, Rupinder.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Uh, what is the best way to get attention even before you have spoken a single word? It is the speech title. So when the Toastmaster of the day announced that not answering is also an answer, I was intrigued. I literally sat up in my seat because it sounded so interesting. And Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters, let me tell you what else I liked about Ashok's speech today. I loved his vocal clarity, the way he was clear, the way he used voice modulation. Specifically, he used emphasis to emphasize the key points of his speech. Then he told a very relatable story of a message not acknowledged and kind of brought alive the frustration at seeing a blue tick and not seeing any response, which I also believe is how do I put it, is over amplified when you are waiting for a job offer or the result of an interview. It kind of becomes over amplified. So I could relate to that. Now, if I was to suggest some improvement points, first thing that I noticed was that the speaker started the speech with thank you. While it is an acceptable format, it is not that effective. You had a very good story. I believe that you could have straight away dove into the story. The second thing that I want to talk about was the eye contact. A lot of times we have this challenge because when we're speaking online, we don't make eye contact with the camera. With the camera, we tend to make it with the center of the screen. I also noticed that the speaker was making eye contact. Was not making eye contact even with the center of the screen. So one thing that I would suggest to the speaker is that take a post-it note, write, look here, and paste it right next to your camera, so that way you're always looking at your camera. There were some audio issues somewhere in the middle. He went totally silent, so I could not hear the speaker properly. One suggestion that I have is that the speaker can call his solution 3 Rs. Read the pattern, respond back to people, recall if somebody is waiting for your answers. And that is where I found the biggest lesson in his speech. And I, for one, I'm going to go and respond back to the people that I have not responded back to, even if some of them are going to be not very happy that I chose to respond to them so late. Overall, lovely speech, lovely title. If the speaker could work on the eye contact, not start with thank you, take care of the audio issues, and maybe just present a solution as 3 hours, this will become an even better speech. Thank you for sharing that speech, Ashok. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. I, for a moment, got so engrossed in Rupinder's evaluation and started somewhere comparing my evaluation with his, and suddenly realized that he's so good at it. Thank you, Rupinder. Now, let me go to our tag team and request our timer to give his inputs on what he tracked for us today. Over to you, sir. Puneet, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me share my screen where we have noted down the timings. Okay, host disabled participation. Okay, I'm not able to share currently, so it's okay. So into the prepared speech section, Toastmaster Shweta took 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Toastmaster Ashok took 7 minutes and 1 second. So they both were inside the time limit. Into the table topic section, Toastmaster Shweta took 1 minute and 42 seconds. Toastmaster Ria took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Ashok took 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Rishabh took 1 minute and 16 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder took 1 minute and 57 seconds. And Distinguished Toastmaster Surendra took 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Into the evaluation section, DTM Surendra took 3 minutes and DTM Rupinder took 3 minutes and 26 seconds. So everybody was inside the time limit and utilized their time so well. And I'm good to see that report. So with that note, let's conclude the timer report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Yours own is now the R counter. I did have some good work done, and I promise, as a good R counter, I did a good job to myself. Let's start with the speech. Shweta had 1 R and 2 rights, R-I-G-H-T. Ashok, you had more than 7 hours because I stopped counting beyond 7. And I think you need to look at that. On the table topics, the table topic master had 6 hours. Shweta, who led not only the prepared speech, but also the table topics, had 6 hours. Ria, you had once. Ashok, this time you had 6 hours. Rishabh, in a minute and a half that you spoke, you had over 10 hours and over 10 likes. You need to look at this because this is very, very high. Rupinder had 1 hour in his table topic, and I had 2 hours. As an evaluator, I had 2 hours while evaluating Shweta's speech, and I also had 2 UNOs. Rupinder had 3 hours as the evaluator. With that, I thought We all need to improve ourselves and keep track of it. And I always say that when you hear the report from our counter, write it down somewhere so that next time when you are speaking, you can look at that number to see whether you're improving yourself. I've tried it on myself, it works. Now, let me go to the overall performance of each one of us. I would say that we as Request are doing relatively well as far as our meetings are concerned. Today, we had at the top, the best of the times, 10 participants. Then we came down to 9, and presently we are 7 of us. We started 4 minutes late because we were waiting for a couple of people to come on board. And I thought the topic chosen by the TMOD of the day, Toastmaster Ria, was brilliant. And the way she started her talk was also very, very good. Every one of us, I'm sure, were totally hooked on and was also evaluating their own changes happening in life. So congratulations, Ria, that was a brilliant job done. Topics chosen by the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sharad, were very, very appropriate. And each of these topics actually took out our own personal thoughts on the topics, and I thought they were very well chosen. Coming to Rupinder's evaluation, I thought as good as the speech was, so was his evaluation. And some of the inputs that he gave as recommendations were so very appropriate. And it'll definitely go a long way in helping the speaker, Ashok, to actually improve further in his delivery of speech and understanding of how he would go about. I also already have complimented Sharad for his beautiful things, and all the table topic speakers were so good and well within time. And that proves that you have really improved yourself as far as each one of you have worked towards the thoughts and building your speech. I wish each one of you the very best and constant improvement in your efforts. And with that, thank you very much for allowing me to be the general evaluator of today's meeting. Thank you, and over to you, the TMOD of the day, Toastmaster Ria.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharindru, and your entire team, including evaluators, for a great evaluation for the overall meeting. I'm sure it will help each and every one of us improve and become better version of ourselves. Concluding the theme, what we understood, we discussed today is that change is actually the only constant. It is change that will make you hooked to your life on a daily basis. If it becomes too comfortable, then at the end we might not just enjoy the beauty of vacation, beauty of relaxation. It is what the change is what keeps us on, and at some point that relaxation makes us want to stay calm, stay still for some time because there's something else that is already looking forward to you. There's already a week, already a task that is standing ahead of you. So, in my opinion, change is what makes you live more, live fuller, explore yourself to a lot more potential than we would have originally done. And we usually don't do when we are in our comfort zone. If I just quote my own example, some initiatives that I am trying to take at this point in my new organization, I would not have taken those initiatives in the other place because I knew what is important there, what is the priority there. I would have, you know, molded myself alongside that organization. In a new place, you are to be molded. You will try everything possible within your limits to mold yourself into an individual that fits into the organization. Similar cases happen in your personal life. There would be some things that are require a change, but we might be a little complacent to making that changes. But if we put in that effort, if we put in that effort in the right place and at the right time, all of those things will come together and change will help us improve on a daily basis. So thank you so much for being a beautiful audience, as you guys always are. And with that, I hand over the stage to our presiding officer for the day, Toastmaster Shaurendra. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to thank each one of you and our area director, Sharad, for having attended the meeting today and making this meeting such a well-constructed and with some humor, some learning, and a lot of camaraderie that we saw amongst ourselves. Thank you very much. All our guests have actually moved out, but I would still want to tell you that on the 22nd to the 24th of May, we have rations in Gurgaon at the La Meridian, and I would request people who are based in Delhi and NCR to join this meeting. It is for people who have attended the ration in the past would know that it is a wonderful opportunity to network with people, to hear wonderful speeches, whether they are keynote addresses or the finals of the district ISC as well as the table topic contests. Spend time, learn a lot. This is a beautiful occasion. How many of you will be able to make it? I don't know, but there are daily passes too. Yes, you have to be there, sir. Otherwise, how will that meeting happen? And our district division director, Ritik, who is not there today, has told me that he's also going to be there. So this is a wonderful occasion. I am unable to make it because I am away to Calcutta to not to take over from Mamta. Let me tell you that. I'm there because I have to attend a wedding which is planned for a long time. So I wish all of you would be there and if you could come over and spend some time there. And there's also another request which has been made by the district and the division is to take on this, come to a meeting with one guest so that this will help us to improve our memberships. So make an effort to bring in someone who will be interested to know about Toastmasters and finally culminate into becoming a member of the club. So I will leave you with these two thoughts and at the same time thank each one of you to be here in this meeting and really making it such an exciting thing. I also have one more input which I want to give, and this is specifically for Ashok. Ashok, there are now quite a few gravel clubs in NCR and Gurgaon and Delhi. So I would want you to please explore the opportunity for your kids because you would be interested in this. With that, thank you very much and looking forward to seeing you next week. Have a great weekend. and a very fruitful week at your work, and also the dreams that you've had for yourself, may they mature over the next week. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Let's take one photo. Please turn on your camera, then we can move.
You're all there this way, yeah.
Done. Thank you so much and have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
sir. Bye, Rupinder.